Hello and welcome to Segments with Mark and Amber. Segments is a comedy podcast where in each episode, Amber and I choose a topic and talk about it in a variety of segments. My name is Mark, and with me, as always, is the shark in my tornado, Amber.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
This is episode 28.
Whoa.
And this time, we're talking about movies that are so bad, they're good.
Yes, we're very excited about this. I believe this was an episode or a topic that was suggested by my brother, John.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Thank you so much, John, for the suggestion. We're very excited about this topic. Ended up being very, very fun.
And I'm sure you'll hear later on, he has some history with us in this.
Yes, and
topic.
maybe that's why it came up in his
Sure
mind.
it is. So the format of this show is going to be a movie review game, and then our favorite movies that are so bad they're good.
But first, we have some corrections and apologies and a little bit of feedback from our last couple of episodes.
Remember, you can always contact us and leave feedback or corrections on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SegmentsCast, or you can email us segmentscast@gmail.com.
Great. Amber, I said that we had some corrections, but I'm looking on the rundown here. It looks like we've got no corrections.
Yeah, we have a place for it in our rundown, but it's empty this time.
It's empty, so we were perfect again. Well done, us. But we did get some really great feedback.
Yeah, what I liked is we got some feedback from between recording this episode and the previous one that were from episodes a couple back.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people don't keep up with us. Putting out, 2 a month, that's a lot. It's a lot for people to keep up with. So they might be listening to episodes that have aired months ago.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can still leave us
Give us
feedback
some
for
feedback.
those. We
We
get a
love
little
it.
notification. It blesses our hearts, and sometimes we have a chance to read it.
Bless their hearts.
On the podcast like we're going to do right now.
When you say, well, bless their hearts, that's something you say about somebody that's kind of
Yeah, that's
dumb.
not a good thing to say. But I said it blessed our hearts.
Oh, it blessed our hearts. Well,
I
bless
didn't
our
say
hearts.
bless their hearts.
Okay.
That would be horribly offensive.
Cool. So first we got some feedback from Amy.
Yeah, so she said that we asked her a question on the collectibles
That's right.
episode. She said she collects Millennium items, and we weren't sure specifically what that was. So she said she looks for items with the year 2000 or something that was made to commemorate that year. And sometimes she finds Y2K specific things. So
That's
was
interesting.
Awesome. Yeah.
I love that. Imagine if she found a Millennium Falcon with Y2K on it.
I mean, there's got to be
It's got to be out there.
Y2K Falcon or something like that.
Y2 Falcon.
Probably wouldn't be name brand. Wouldn't be Kenner.
That's true. That would be a real find.
Yes, it would.
Also, our friend Jill left some great feedback. She said, I don't know if I should be flattered or not to comment on the prevalence of air sick bags on planes these days.
That was also from our collections episode.
Yes, way back on episode 26, Coterie of Collectorers. It was the best, the most loved outtakes of any episode yet. She said, I've noticed that not all seat pockets contain said bags.
Ooh.
In fact, on several of my last flights, I don't think I saw a single air sick bag anywhere, but she doesn't really search them out.
Ah.
Also, I have never seen an interesting bag, so the days of collectible, unique, and artistic receptacles must be a thing of the past.
Oh, yeah. So we had featured or talked about a man who did collect airsick bags, or there's many people that do, and they do collect just your basic ones. But for a while, there was apparently some designer bags issued by some different airlines.
Yeah.
So it's very cool if you can get a hold of one of those, if you're one of those collectors.
Hopefully those do come back. So Jill also left some feedback about my boat collection. She said, Mark, a spark of hope for you. I too had wooden collectible boats. I believe it was an East Coast souvenir. I definitely remember the nets and maybe even some lobster crates. There may have been some crates on mine, I'm not sure. And now I have a boat. So it's just a matter of time. That would be great if collecting small wooden boats led to having your own boat sometime. That would be real nice.
In the meantime, you'll just have to keep carrying around an anchor and pretending that you're on your way to your boat.
Exactly. Yar.
Yar. Our next little bit of feedback, also from the Hobbies and Collections episode, was from our good listener friend Rohan. He said that he talked about puzzle talk. He said he always does the edges first before working on the middle. Then he usually flips over all the pieces before starting on the edge, though if there are a ton of pieces and I got all the edges, I might wait to flip the middle pieces later. I believe that could happen in my strategy as well, especially if the table's not very large.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talked about my puzzle strategy, Mark sort of mocked it, saying that, duh, that's the way everybody would do a puzzle.
Correct. I
but
still
then
stand by that.
we went on our family vacation, and there was a group puzzle being worked on, and the pieces were dumped out and turned face up, and the edge was starting to be worked on, and then all the other pieces that weren't part of the edge got put back into the box face up. Who's ever done that before? That was a different way to do things.
Yes, I think you're it's a
I'm
very
just saying, there's not
subtle
only
line.
one way.
it's like the sword that divides soul and spirit is the division between your two ways of doing.
It's a very important sword.
It's a very important sword. So good job, Amber. I love that. All right. Well, now we've got some feedback from our big double LP episode, the Star Wars episode with Aaron and Bobby Joe, which was so much fun. Laura, she left some feedback here, and so we asked people, what is your favorite planet? What's your favorite ship? What's your favorite battle scene? What's your favorite hero? And who's your favorite villain? And so Laura said her favorite planet is Naboo, which I believe that was Bobby Joe's as well.
I think it might have been
remember
Aaron's.
Might have been
because
Aaron.
of the different terrain or whatever.
Oh,
the
she said
grass and,
the Scarif.
right.
Yes. She said the Millennium Falcon, which is a great ship.
Of course.
The last battle between Luke and Darth. That's what I chose. Great
Very
battle
good.
scene. Her favorite hero was Qui-Gon.
Oh, she's a big Liam Neeson fan.
Yeah, I could have guessed that. And then her favorite villain is Darth Vader. Interesting.
good one.
I wouldn't have known what her villain choice would be.
Yeah.
Wonder why she loves Darth Vader so much.
Should she want to go to the dark
Does
side?
she want to go to the dark side?
Oh, man.
Who knows?
So your mom didn't have enough built up knowledge, I think, to answer all 5 categories. So she said her favorite is Chewbacca.
Her favorite planet?
I don't know what category that is, she said. Maybe she thought he could be a hero or a villain. She said, I have no answers for anything else except maybe Han Solo. This means that your mom thinks either Chewbacca or Han Solo is a villain.
I don't know. I think these are just the 2 Star Wars words that she knows.
And she's seen all the new movies to try to keep up with us. She doesn't have the depth
It's
of
not there.
knowledge to draw from.
It's not on that. She can't just pull it from memory.
But she is a dedicated fan and listener, and she commented when we asked for comments, and we love it.
Yes, and our graphic designer daughter Emma said her favorite planet is Tatooine. Favorite ship, the X-wing. Everybody loves the X-wing.
Yes.
Such a great ship. Battle Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul.
That was awesome with those laser barriers.
Incredible.
That was very cool.
Did that not come up in our episode?
I don't think it did.
That is shocking.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic. That might be my favorite.
Yeah.
No, second favorite. Jyn Erso. I love that.
little
Great
girl
choice.
power.
Yeah.
Yes.
And her favorite villain, Asajj Ventress.
Which you
she's-
mostly would know her from one of the cartoons, right?
Yeah, from Clone Wars.
Ah,
So that's a nice pull, Emma. Well done.
yes. Our other daughter, Molly, she said her favorite planet is Geonosis.
Which I love that. That's a great answer.
I know. We didn't. So you see the ring. You see the ring where people fight in the arena.
The arena. Mhm.
And you see kind of a war planning room.
Well, so the huge battle at the end is all on that kind of reddish, deserty planet. That is Geonosis. There's a huge battle of Geonosis, and there's all
That's
these.
not just all the Jedis in the arena.
Well, that is part of it.
Oh,
But
I
you
see. It's happening on multiple
a huge
fronts.
part of the planet.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember the droid manufacturing scene, where
Vaguely.
that's also on Geonosis.
Okay,
So
cool.
lot going on there. So fantastic planet. Good choice, Molly.
Cool. Her favorite vehicle is General Grievous's wheel bike. That's awesome. That's a very cool bike.
Good one.
Her favorite battle is the Battle of Geonosis.
Theme here.
Her best villain is the Geonosians.
Sounds like Molly.
And the best hero is either K2SO or Chirrut Imwe.
Imwe, yeah.
Imwe.
The blind, he doesn't have the force, but
Are those both from Rogue One?
yes.
Wow.
So she likes Rogue One. So you remember Chirrut, he says, I'm one with the force and the force with me.
Yes, I
I'm
do
one with the
remember
force
him.
and the force
I
with
just
me.
haven't said his name out loud that many times.
Yeah, so. And then finally, Amy said that her favorite planet is Naboo. A lot of Naboo love here.
Yes.
Millennium Falcon, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. What's that?
Versus
battle
Darth
scene.
Maul.
Oh,
So
versus
that's the
Darth
same
Maul.
battle
Okay.
that Emma liked,
Look
yeah.
at that. And her favorite hero is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Good choice.
/ Old Ben. She put Old Ben in there. It's different to me.
Well, they're the same person.
I know, but I don't think of him when I think of the hero.
Wow. He sacrifices himself for the good of the whole crew of the Millennium Falcon.
You're right.
He's an incredible hero.
He is. Yeah, he just, I don't know. He seems like he should have been doing more.
Okay. Well, we don't have time to go into that right now. So, and then finally, her favorite villain, Senator Palpatine.
Ah, yeah, that's a good one.
Great one. So thank you guys so much for the feedback. I
Yeah, it
love
was
talking
fun.
Star Wars. We could talk a lot more Star Wars.
I
but
don't think we have any specific Star Wars themed episodes planned for the next 6 months.
That's true.
So those of you that are not big Star Wars fans
Yeah,
can
don't-
breathe a
don't
sigh of
worry.
relief. It will come back because it is our favorite. But
Yeah, and episode 9 will be out in, what is it, December of 2019?
so far away.
It's a long ways away. They have started filming it, so good news.
very cool. Moving on to what's making us happy right now. Mark, what's making you happy?
Well, Amber, what's making me happy is a TV show that we have been watching on Netflix, and this is not a swear word.
No.
It sounds like a swear word when I say it out loud,
But it's not
But
spelled
it's
the same.
spelled with a C, and there's another T in it. So I'm gonna probably have to use my beeping noise later.
Okay.
Anyway, so what's making me happy right now is a TV show on Netflix called Schitt's Creek.
That's what it's called.
Schittts.
It's someone's last name.
It's someone's last name. It's the mayor. His name is Roland.
Mm-hmm.
And so this it's probably one of the best comedies I have seen in so long. I just love it. It's written by Eugene Peterson and his son. I
Nope,
can't-
Eugene Levy.
Eugene. Oh my goodness, Eugene
We just had a whole different audience that was
Yeah.
about to tune in.
Oh, Eugene Peterson. Eugene Peterson is writing a biography, a memoir that I'm reading called The Pastor.
That might be what's making you happy in the next episode.
Maybe. So this series is written by Eugene Levy and his son. I think his name's Daniel
Yes.
Levy.
Yes, it is.
And it's a Canadian show, but it's now on Netflix. And the premise of it is that there's this rich family, and they lose everything. The only thing that doesn't get sold off because of a bad business deal or whatever is this town that the father bought for the son as a joke.
Yes.
For his birthday one
Because
year.
of the name.
Because of the name. And so that's all they have is somehow they own this town, which I don't even know what that means. And they end up living in this hotel in the town, in these two adjacent hotel rooms. And the whole premise is it's these super rich people living in this podunk,
Yeah.
hick town, and just them trying to deal with it. But it is just a great show. The writing, the characters. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say, I guess. But we finished watching it, the 3 seasons that are currently on Netflix, and I was ready to start back again.
Wow. It's definitely our brand of humor.
Oh.
We really like it. Yeah.
It's been renewed for season 4. And it's been renewed for season 5, I read. So.
I think season 4 is already aired,
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. It's already aired and
but
it's
it's
coming
not on
out.
Netflix yet.
Not yet. And season 5 is going to be made if it's not been made already. So
Awesome.
we have 2 more seasons
Yay.
to look forward to. So that's what's making me happy. Schitt's Creek.
Good.
Amber, what's making you happy?
2 things. My
2 things.
My
That's not how we do it.
well, I said I would always mention Little Big Brother because, of course, Big Brother's making me happy, and this has been a great season so far. There's been a lot of blindsides, which means that when they're starting to vote a contestant out of the house, that not everybody knows what's going to happen. Which I really feel like last season and maybe even the season before that, there would be like some decision makers in the house that nobody wanted to anger, and everybody would just go along with them, and it would be like these 11-1 votes to get somebody out. And now there just keeps being every single time there's a vote, somebody's jaw drops open like, wait a minute, I didn't know that you were going to vote that person out. And that just makes for some good television.
Good job, Big Brother.
My favorite Tyler is on the block right now.
Uh-oh.
He got put in there with a special power, an anonymous special power, and he's a very good player that's been kind of under the radar, and I don't want to see him go home, but that was a very wise move to put him on the block, so we'll see what happens. But my other thing that's not Big Brother that's making me happy is a book. It is called Apocalypse Z, The Beginning of the End, and it's written by Manuel Loria. He's
okay.
Spanish. So it's the first one in a trilogy, and it was given to me by my brother Adam and his wife Tara for my birthday because they know I love apocalypse scenarios, and the Z stands for zombie.
Whoa.
So my favorite part of all these kinds of apocalypse books is the story of how everything kind of falls apart.
I love that.
And this one just does a really brilliant way of doing it. The author is writing, or the guy is writing in first person as like a blog or a journal. And so he's just giving these little updates. And the very first one just mentions like, oh, there's some kind of a skirmish going on in Russia. And like, oh, they blocked off this town or something in Russia as something's going on. And then it just like grows and grows into something pretty terrible.
Wow.
I'm almost done with the book now. It's good that it's a trilogy because this is not going to be ending well, the first one. So it's got some violence in it, definitely zombie type stuff, but it's been a cool story. I like it.
That's great. I appreciate that you bring two things because I don't want people to get this idea that you're just, a Big Brother watcher. That's what they would catch on to over these next few months.
Exactly.
If you didn't bring two.
That's
so good
right.
job. So
Thanks.
That's good. You are multifaceted.
Yeah. Thank you.
Multifaceted. Big Brother and zombies.
That's right.
So good job. Do you think I would like that book?
I do.
Oh, maybe I could listen to it on Audible on my
that'd
way
be perfect. You should get that as your next fiction Audible book.
I'll look into it. Segment 1. Bad Movie Review Game. All right, Amber, I'm bringing a quiz. And it's been a little while since I've brought a quiz, so I'm pretty excited about it. And the premise of this quiz is that I'm going to read you a review of a movie that I got mostly from Rotten Tomatoes, but a couple times elsewhere.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give you, because it's a little bit challenging, I'm going to give you 3 options.
Okay.
And you have to pick what movie
Okay.
that review was for.
Were these written by critics or by just regular moviegoers?
These are all written by movie critics.
Actual movie critics.
Actual
Okay,
movie critics.
Good. That just
And
helps.
so I have their name and the publication.
So I can fact check you.
So you could fact check me, and I think that'll give you some context.
Oh, okay.
Because, for example, this first one is Mick LaSalle from the San Francisco Chronicle, and you know the kind of stuff that he's into and how he writes.
Yeah, I mean, he really kind of took a turn in 2015. He started to get a little darker, but we'll see.
We'll see that.
when
This one was
written.
before that, so it was before the darkness. So, Amber, do you understand the rules?
Yes.
Who are we playing for?
Oh, we're playing for Amy again because we didn't win.
Keep
for her.
trying.
Yes.
Keep trying.
Amy, front the way.
Amy, just off the top, I just want to apologize. This is not one of those games. It's going to be a gimme. So we will see.
We'll keep trying.
We'll see what happens. But sometimes the anticipation is the best part of the gift. So. Number 1. A dull, boring, poorly acted, limply written, and thoroughly unappealing fantasy featuring bland characters locked in a struggle of no interest.
Oh, no.
Again, that was Mick LaSalle from the San Francisco Chronicle.
Oh, Mick.
Was that Babylon A.D.? It's a Vin Diesel flick from 2008.
Okay.
The Last Airbender, the M. Night Shyamalan movie from 2010.
Oh, no.
Or The Phantom Menace, 1999.
Ooh. So now I kind of need to hear it again.
A dull, boring, poorly acted, limply written, and thoroughly unappealing fantasy featuring bland characters locked in a struggle of no interest.
Oh, no. Well, I really don't want it to be... I mean, it can't be The Phantom Menace, for goodness sakes. You could give that a bad review, but it wouldn't be that one. I don't remember. I know The Last Airbender was definitely panned critically. Never seen the Babylon AD.
You'd better watch it.
I'm going to go with The Last Airbender.
Amber, you are correct.
Aw.
1 point for you.
That was a great cartoon, but the movie didn't happen like it should have.
The cartoon was incredible. The movie was terrible. All right, well, good job, Amber. This is number 2. This movie marks a distinct improvement on the last 2 installments, but only in the same way that dying from natural causes is preferable to crucifixion.
Oh, wow.
Anthony Lane from The New Yorker.
Oh, The New Yorker.
So, was that A, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith? B, The Twilight Saga, Eclipse?
Oh.
C, Spider-Man 3, the Tobey Maguire 2007?
Did Tobey Maguire do 3 Spider-Mans? Man.
He definitely did. That's not a
dark
giveaway,
time.
but he
Right.
definitely did.
So I will tell you that, well,
This movie marks a distinct improvement on the last two installments, but only in the same way that dying from natural causes is preferable to crucifixion.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's Twilight Eclipse.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
Amber.
no.
That's not true. It is Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, come on, you
Come on,
critic.
Anthony Lane.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Oh. Well, so you're 1-1.
Okay,
So we'll keep trying.
1-1.
Number 3. It is not remotely devoid of value. It's just that none of this value comes from plot, character, or capacity to provide entertainment. That is Tim Brayton from Antagony and Ecstasy, whatever that is. Okay.
Supposed to give me a clue, you said.
The Phantom Menace, Battlefield Earth. That's John Travolta, 2000.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you an actor or the
Okay.
year, so just to,
Thank
in
you.
case you
I
don't know the
appreciate
movie.
that. Yes.
Battlefield Earth, Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. That's from 1986. That's the one with the whales.
Yes.
It is not remotely devoid of value. It's just that none of this value comes from plot, character, or capacity to provide entertainment.
I'm gonna go Battlefield Earth.
Oh, I'm sorry, Amber. That is The Phantom Menace.
They're wrong. What is the people's problem?
Oh, I notated that you got that one right, but you did not.
I did not get it right.
All right. Well, yeah, see, I told you this is going to be
How
a tough
many are
one.
there?
There's 10.
Okay.
So you still have a chance.
Yes.
Don't worry, Amy. All right, number 4. Not so much watched as lived through. This movie is bad enough to make audiences ashamed to be part of the same species as the people who made it. Nathan Rabin from the AV Club. Is that A, Battlefield Earth? B, Dungeons and Dragons? That's Jeremy Irons and Marlon Wayans from 2001.
Really?
Or Speed 2, Sandra Bullock, 1997.
I'm gonna say Battlefield Earth.
That is correct,
Okay, good.
Amber. Battlefield Earth. But those other two were also bad, according to Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Number 5. All right, you're tied up again, Amber.
All right. 2-2.
A jaw-dropping experience so rigorously one-dimensional and free from even the pretense of intelligence, it's hard not to be astonished and even mesmerized by what is on the screen. That's from Kenneth Turin from the Los Angeles Times.
Okay.
A, Starship Troopers.
Oh.
Casper Van Dyne, you know who that is?
Nope.
Casper Van Dyne, Neil Patrick Harris from 1997. The Master of Disguise, Dana Carvey from 2002. Turtle.
Oh, that's the turtle one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or Clueless, Alicia Silverstone, 1995.
I best not be getting any bad reviews.
A jaw-dropping experience so rigorously one-dimensional and free from even the pretense of intelligence, it's
Oh.
hard not to be astonished and even mesmerized by what is on the screen.
There's no way that's about Clueless. I'm going to say Starship Troopers.
Amber, you are correct.
Yay.
Yep, Starship Troopers. That was on a number of lists of bad movies.
And we saw it, but I don't have any recollection of it
recollection.
being particularly bad or good.
I have nothing. All right, number 6. This movie may be the clumsiest, most inept cinematic exploitation of an item with kid appeal that we have seen yet. That's from Susan Stark at the Detroit News.
Okay. Right in our
Was-
home state.
Exactly. Was that Transformers? Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox from 2007. G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. Nobody That I Know from 2009.
Oh.
I just
Nobody was in it that you
I
know.
read
Yeah.
the people and I was like, I don't know any of these people.
Okay.
Or Dungeons and Dragons from 2001.
This is the same Jeremy Irons.
And Marlon Wayans, yes.
Okay. Read it again.
This movie may be the clumsiest, most inept cinematic exploitation of an item with kid appeal that we have yet seen.
Oh, kid appeal. Let's say G.I. Joe.
I'm sorry, Amber. It's Dungeons and Dragons from 2001.
All right. We didn't like the G.I. Joe movie, though. I think it was disappointing, right?
No, but this does make me want to watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I bet it does,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Number 7. How bad is this movie? Set in Miami during spring break, it's like Grease, The Next Generation, acted out by the food court staff at SeaWorld. That's from
I already know.
Owen Gleiberman, Entertainment Weekly. A, from Justin DeKelly, 2003. Blue Crush, Kate Bosworth, 2002. Or Teen Beach Movie, Ross Lynch, 2013.
I'm going to go with Justin DeKelly because
That-
it's got the singing like Grease. Yeah.
Yes, that is correct, Amber, from Justin DeKelly. A terrible movie that we'll talk more about later.
Yes, we will.
Okay, are you doing good?
I
Let's
am.
see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 yeses. 1, 2. Yeah, so you're ahead.
I am
4
ahead.
and 3. Number 8. On the IMDb trivia page, it says the most amazing thing about this movie is that they started filming without a completed script. No, they finished filming without a completed script. That's from Mark Kermode from The Observer.
Oh, so clever, Mark.
Is that Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, 2011, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End from 2007, or Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest from 2006?
Ooh, I'm going to go with the 2011 one because I think those have gotten progressively worse.
They did get progressively worse, Amber, but that was a review for Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, which was
Really?
Pirates 3.
Huh.
Yeah, so
I'm
bad.
sure we still saw that one in the theater.
I'm sure we did. So, Amber, you're tied up.
Oh, really?
All right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think-
Yes. No. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So you got 2 chances to get back, but you can't miss one and get the other one.
Then I'll just be tied
I
again.
don't
We'll have
know
have
what to
a
do in
tiebreaker.
that scenario. We'll
How
figure
many
that out.
seconds did it take to do
Oh, we
this
could do
quiz?
that.
That's what they do on Big Brother for a tiebreaker.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
You ready? Number 9. I unfortunately had a seat that faced the screen, and I have 2 hours of my life that I will never get back. That is a great review.
That is pretty good.
Ben Lyons from At the Movies.
Okay.
Imagine you spent millions of dollars making a
Yes.
movie, and that is the review. Is that In the Army Now? Pauly Shore from 1994. Kazam, Shaquille O'Neal, 2002. Or Babylon AD, Vin Diesel, 2008.
Man, it could be any of those.
I unfortunately had a seat that faced the screen, and I have 2 hours of my life that I will never get back.
Oh, so here's the thing. I want to say it's the Pauly Shore one, but I also feel like you've brought Babylon back again. You probably did use a review of it somewhere. So just using my quiz strategies in an attempt to win a sticker for Amy, I'm going to go Babylon AD.
Amber, you are correct.
Boom.
Good job with your quiz strats. So I'm going to say, let's see what happens. Then
Okay.
I'll make a absolute cack.
Cack.
Cack. I don't know if that's a
It's
word,
like
but
something
that's
a cat does when it's coughing up
I
a
think so.
hairball. Okay.
absolute cack. Appallingly written, witlessly directed, and sung as if by mice being tortured. Oh, no. It makes Teletubbies look like the Iliad in comparison.
Wow.
Stephen Pollard from The Spectator. That's a harsh review.
It is harsh.
It's a harsh review. Is that A, Mamma Mia, 2008? B, High School Musical, Zac Efron, 2006? Or C, Beauty and the Beast, Emma Watson, 2017?
Seriously, I would assume all of those movies did pretty well.
Absolute cack. Appallingly written, witlessly directed, and sung as if by mice being tortured.
Oh, no.
It makes Teletubbies look like the Iliad
So
in
here's
comparison.
my thoughts. It can't be High School Musical because people bought those records and went to those concerts. That was a worldwide phenomenon. You can't say that was sung by mice. We saw Mamma Mia. It was fine. It was cute. It made you want to go to Greece and buy ABBA songs. What was the other one? Oh,
Beauty and the Beast.
I'm going to say Beauty and the Beast.
Amber, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
It's Mamma Mia.
No, they're wrong.
Well, tell that to Stephen Pollard from The
Stephen
Spectator.
Pollard is wrong.
So you were 50-50. I think we are giving you the 50-50. We're going to go for the side of a win. We
Okay.
can't have a split.
I
We
guess
can't.
not.
What, we could send half a sticker to Amy. Is that what you want?
King Solomon's solution.
Yeah. So did you win? No. Did you lose? No.
That's dumb.
I was going to say I should never have an even number. So we could remove the last one. Then I would only have 9, and then you would win.
Okay. Maybe you can come up with another one during the podcast.
All right. So we're going to count that as a win.
All
Amber.
right.
Okay.
All right.
So good job.
Hopefully you feel good about it, Amy. It's almost legitimate.
It's almost legitimate. I think I've learned a lesson in quiz making. Odd numbers.
I guess so.
So
So, Amy, you need to send us your mailing address, either Facebook private message through the segments page or email us at segmentscast@gmail.com. And if you're listening and you think, hey, I won a sticker before and I never got it, send us your address because we might not have it.
Correct. And if you would like to win a sticker, comment, leave some feedback. We will randomly draw the participant, and you could win a sticker. Just participate.
Yay. Graphically designed by our daughter, Emma.
That's right. So, Amber, before we move on to the next segment, just let me know, scale of 1 to 10, what's your take on that quiz?
I think that quiz was a 7.
A 7. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Not my worst quiz.
No.
That would have been Gutenberg versus Gutenberg.
No,
That was the worst
I
quiz.
liked it. That
Did
was
you?
funny to me.
Okay. Segment 2. Movies so bad, they're good.
The worst quiz was the ice cream one because it was too hard to.
That was a
too hard
ridiculous
to picture.
quiz. Correct. So, Amber, now we're going to not do our traditional top 5.
No.
Because we were kind of batting that around, but these movies are so bad, we don't want to give, put them in a best of category
Right.
any which way. So we're just going to discuss some of the movies that we have most enjoyed that are so bad they're good.
Yeah. So here I am thinking about what movies I want to talk about and trying to figure out how I define what makes a movie so bad it's good. So I came up with these characteristics and see if you agree. So bad special effects,
Yes,
bad acting,
that's it.
bad dialogue. So sometimes the actors might not be bad, but the words they're given are just ridiculous. A confusing plot, ridiculous storylines. I do believe you have to be in the right mood to experience a movie that's so bad it's good, and it helps to have someone to share it with.
Yes, I think those are all very, very good. I mean, we could go down and we could, in each of those categories, talk about a movie, and I
Yeah.
think they very clearly capture that what makes a movie so bad, because it can be not quite bad enough that it's just
Right,
bad. It's so
right.
bad that it's bad.
Yes.
But there's something about a movie that's so bad it's good that raises it to the next level, and I do think that being in that right state of mind is
that really
very,
makes a
very
difference.
important.
I agree. So I was thinking, where did I start? Why do I think I would want to watch a movie that's so bad it's good? And I think one of the things that shaped my enjoyment of that was the Mystery Science Theater program
3000, yeah.
franchise.
Absolutely. Did you watch that when you were a kid, or have you just watched the reboot?
I definitely watched it as a teenager. I think it was on
Nice.
Comedy Central for a while.
Nice.
So that, if anybody's not familiar with it, it's a ridiculous show. There's a premise that a human test subject has been imprisoned aboard a spacecraft by mad scientists and their henchmen, and this human test subject is forced to watch a series of bad movies in order to find the one that will drive him insane. So he just has to, they do really crazy, acted, silly, costumed exchanges between him and the henchmen, the mad scientist. But then most of the show is him watching a bad movie, usually black and white. He built a couple of robots to watch the movie with him, who are voiced by other funny people, and they basically just tear the movie apart as they watch it and make fun of it.
So I think the first one Joel. I think it was Joel, and then he
Yes.
made Crow, T-Robot, and then what was the Gumball Machine one?
Tom Servo,
Tom Servo.
and then Gypsy.
Gypsy is the big thing that kind of comes down
Okay.
out of the roof and it's big. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah. And so they would sit there, and so you just see the silhouette of them
Yeah.
in like a movie theater watching this movie, and they're just kind of making fun of this movie the whole time. And it is an incredible show. It got rebooted within the last couple years here, and it's probably on Netflix or whatever. And it's just great. It just works.
Yep. A little fair warning. A lot of the movies they use do have some, I don't know, questionable themes or whatever. It's not. It's usually just one or two parts, but you think, I don't.
Yeah.
So
And
anyway, I didn't
they're not all black and white. I remember watching one of the new ones, which was about this ski lodge, and there's an avalanche or
Yes.
something, and
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
so bad. That was so fun though. But you and the kids went and saw MST3K
Yes, just
live.
last year we went and they came to Detroit and we watched a movie called Iga. And the synopsis of that was, while driving through the desert, a teenage girl is frightened by a 7-foot giant which appears in her path. After escaping, she returns to the site with her boyfriend and father in an attempt to find the giant. They do, and it proceeds to terrorize them and the rest of Palm Springs, California. So that was definitely an older movie. IMDb users rated it 2.2 out of 10.
Whoa.
So that definitely qualifies as a bad movie, and probably also a B movie. Sometimes when they describe which movies they're watching on MSTK, they call them B movies. I did a research about that, and it was originally called a B movie because it was the second movie on a double bill, and it usually did cost less to make. It was low budget. They're almost always suspense, horror, sci-fi, or Western, or gangster genre, but there were other genres as well, and now it's often used to describe something that's just low budget.
Gotcha.
B movie.
A B movie. So maybe like we watched Oblivion the other night on my friend Craig's recommendation. It was this terrible movie from 1994. So it's not the Tom Cruise Oblivion. It was this other one. I don't know
It's
where.
definitely not the Tom
From
Cruise one.
1994. Nobody you've ever heard of is in it, and it's before Cowboys and Aliens, I think. But it is
Oh, yeah, I think
cowboys
so.
and with aliens, and there's this bad guy, this reptilian bad guy named Red Eye, and
Nothing's really explained about why they're all there.
no, nothing is really explained, and the acting is bad, and the special effects are bad, and it's definitely, you just watch it and go, this is a B movie.
Yes,
So.
I feel like that's exactly what it should be. That one has a 5.2 out of 10 IMDb score, which seems crazy.
It does seem
Only
very
947 users reviewed it. 29% Rotten Tomato score.
Yeah, that was one of the worst movies I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
But we did press through the whole thing, so good job us. So Amber, I don't know if you remember, but when I think about movies that are so bad they're good, the first one that I remember is we rented, probably from Video Hits Plus or some such place, The Transporter. And who knows when that was. I don't know when that came out. And we were watching this movie, and it's definitely the genre of movie that we like. It's action. It's kind of a little bit goofy, but it's fun. It's definitely kind of a popcorn summer blockbuster. I don't know if it's a summer blockbuster, but that kind of popcorn action adventure movie. And we're watching it, and everything's going relatively well as far as I can remember. I mean, it's Jason Statham, right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, he gets in a fight. And if you go on YouTube and you Google the Transporter oil fight, we're watching this movie, and he starts fighting, and I watched a clip of it today. And so he's fighting. He's like in this bus garage, and he's, for some reason, I don't remember why, he's fighting all these guys, and in the midst of this fight, he takes his shirt off and starts wrapping people up. And so now Jason Statham has no shirt on, which I think...
I mean, he had to.
Yeah,
What's he going to do?
They're like, we have to get his shirt off somehow. And then he's fighting in a bus, and he beats these guys up, and he gets further into the garage, and he gets in another fight, and he's losing. And all of a sudden he realizes he's surrounded by a bunch of vats of oil. And so he knocks over all these barrels of oil and kind of rolls around in it to get all slick. And now they're trying to fight him.
Yeah.
And like they're trying to grab him, but they can't. He's like a greased pig, and he's sliding around. And then all of a sudden, they can't fight him. There's a bicycle there, and so he snaps off these like lock-in pedals of the clip-in pedals of the bicycle, and he's got those on his feet, so he doesn't slip around in the oil, but everybody else is, and he starts ninja attacking everybody, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I just remember watching that movie. I think we were when we lived at Village Green in Portage, and just going, "Oh, this is what we're watching."
Yeah, that was kind of the turning point.
It was so, and then everything became hilarious.
Right.
And the ending scenes are hilarious. Everything is and so we just kind of it's that mindset. It just shifted from we're watching an action adventure movie with Jason Statham and it's good to this is terrible.
Right.
And we loved it even more.
So that one, I think, probably had great special effects. I think the acting, Jason Statham's great. It probably had decent dialogue. It did have ridiculous storylines. We were in the right mood, and we had someone to share it with.
Yeah.
So therefore, it became a so bad it's good movie to us. And I did look up a synopsis of it. So he's a mercenary transporter who moves goods, and he has 3 strict rules. never change the deal, no names, and never look in the package. Well, he breaks the rule.
He breaks the third rule, and
third
there's
rule.
there's a girl in the
package, yep.
package, and then he ends up having to try to save her or whatever.
So other people did not agree with our idea that it was a bad movie when it comes to reviews. It got 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb. The audience score for Rotten Tomatoes is 73%.
Wow,
liked
that's
it. And the
Well,
critic score is 54%, which is not bad.
Yeah, see, and I would probably review it well because I enjoyed the whole movie. But it seemed like it was in that so bad it's good, but I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
definitely, and so we liked that one so much. We wanted to experience that again. We went out of our way to try to find another bad movie that we could laugh at and enjoy, and we came up with.
Oh, yes. We went out and we got From Justin to Kelly, which was the first year of American Idol, which I believe we watched pretty much most of the first year of American Idol.
So.
And at the very end, if you remember, friends, go in the Wayback Machine with me. Justin Guarini and Kelly Clarkson are the final two. Kelly Clarkson wins because she's amazing, and she sings, "A moment like this,
Oh, it's so
some
good.
people wait a lifetime."
That was very thrilling.
Yeah, it's so good. And so Fox was like, hey, let's capitalize on this.
Yes.
These kids probably aren't going to be famous very long. And so they had them make a movie, not just a movie, but a musical. And they called it From Justin to Kelly. And the whole premise of it is that Kelly works, I don't know, in Nashville or Tennessee or someplace in a bar, and her friends, like the kind of your token rich snobby friend and your token black friend, want to go down to Florida,
Miami.
Miami.
Yeah.
That's right. For spring break, and she doesn't want to go because she doesn't like that kind of atmosphere. You know, she doesn't want guys just ogling women. She's not into that, but they convince her to go down there. And what's crazy is, as soon as she gets down there, she seems to be super into guys just kind of ogling her. And so she'll kind of switch back and forth from scene to scene, whether she's kind of this uptight, prudish kind of person or just this kind of raucous
Spring breaker.
Spring breaker. And so that's bad. And then Justin Guarini is terrible. And they both sing these just terrible pop songs. And it is... The premise is bad. The acting is bad. The plot is non-existent. It just doesn't. It's terrible. I don't know if it was it good? It was super bad.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it was so bad that it was good. It might have just been so bad that it was just bad.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I don't feel like it disappointed us a little bit. It wasn't what we were hoping for.
It didn't make you laugh out loud.
Yeah, which maybe if we were in a different mood, or maybe if we had more people to watch it with, that could have helped us find the humor. That might have crossed over.
Yeah, absolutely.
So IMDb gives From Justin to Kelly a score. 24,000 reviewers gave it 2.1 out of 10 on average.
That's pretty bad.
Critics score 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience score 37%. So that is not great.
No, that's not a good movie. So don't run. If you're looking for a movie so bad it's good, don't run out for Justin to Kelly.
No, that might not be the best
Not
choice.
quite there. All right, Amber, what else you got? What else you got in the old hopper there?
I didn't have much about this one, but it's something that I really enjoyed, and I feel like if we had the right group of people watching it, it would be great. It was the Star Wars Holiday Special.
So bad.
So it's hard to find. I can't remember how I watched it. I think it was on YouTube, maybe in chunks or something.
That's true. Well, we borrowed the VHS, I believe, from Craig.
Oh, you think so?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. How did we watch a VHS?
Well, maybe he had a DVD.
It was at this house.
Yeah, it
Okay.
must have been a DVD.
But you didn't watch it with me. I really wanted to watch it because I was listening to another podcast that was talking about it.
I watched bits and pieces of it.
It's about the Wookiees and it's a pretty bad costume.
It's Life Day. Oh, and so
Yeah.
you've got the Chewbacca, like the legitimate Chewbacca costume,
Yeah.
and then you have all the other Wookiees, and they're the worst,
The worst.
costumes that you've ever seen. It is so bad.
We could when we went to see the Star Wars premiere and there was a Wookiee at the movie theater and we took a picture with him. It's so scary. It's like
Yeah.
a weird walking carpet thing.
Yeah.
So and he's got a kid. Chewie has a son or something. So that one definitely fit bad special effects, bad acting, bad dialogue, confusing plot, ridiculous storylines.
Yeah, and
that
so
really
that was
met
just
the criteria for me.
Everybody that was involved in that was unhappy about it. George didn't like it. Mark Hamill didn't want to do it. Carrie Fisher didn't want to do it. I feel like Harrison Ford
must have
just
been the
refused
network
to do
that
it.
was
Yeah, they
pushing
were
it?
just like, you have to do this, and
Yeah.
we're waiting for the next movie to come out. And it was obviously so huge, but
Yeah.
man, so bad, so disappointing.
So that one got a 2.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah. So as we're looking into movies so bad they are good, a movie kept popping up on so many lists. It was called Battlefield Earth, and I remember this John Travolta flick coming out at some point. We never went and saw it, but it kept coming up on this list.
On every list.
Every list. And so you can watch it for free on Netflix. And so we just pulled it up one night and watched. It was over 2 hours.
Oh, it's a long one.
It's a long one. Battlefield Earth.
I do have a synopsis here. Do you want?
Terrible movie. Go for it.
Okay. In the year 3000, humanity is no match for the Cyclos, a greedy, manipulative race on a quest for ultimate profit. Led by the seductive and powerful Terrell, John Travolta, the Cyclos are stripping Earth of its resources and using the broken remnants of humanity as slaves. What is left of the human race has reverted to a primitive state, believing the invaders to be demons and technology to be evil. After humanity has all but given up its hope of freeing themselves from alien oppression, a young man named Tyler decides to leave his desolate home high in the Rocky Mountains to discover the truth, whereupon he is captured and enslaved. It is then he decides to fight back, leading his fellow man in one final struggle for freedom.
Yeah, and so everything about this movie was terrible. The
Yeah, and
special
that premise,
effects,
you could probably make something out of it.
probably.
In the future,
Yeah.
I can see people reverting a little bit back to caveman
Yeah,
type.
so this makes it sound like, they were taking a variety of resources from the planet.
Yeah, this
No,
is the most sense it's made.
yeah, they're like
Just reading this
you
right
would
here.
not get this from watching the movie.
No.
They're trying to get gold.
Yeah.
Like why these aliens are
Yeah.
stripping this planet is gold the foundation of all currency in all
Multi-universes,
the
yeah.
world. No, that's never explained, but they really want gold, and there's this.
It's almost like an afterthought. Or are they trying to get
They
gold?
just
I
are
don't
like,
know.
well, we
Yeah.
need them to do something. It's like, well, how about gold? And they have these humans. They call them man animals.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. Everything is so poor. It's like a middle schooler wrote
Yes,
it, and it's
it
just
really is.
like the man animals, and it's just like I'm trying to remember Cyclo. Who's the Cyclos? And his name is Turl, and it's like everything about it is so bad. And so these humans at one point are off mining for gold because they decide they have to get the humans to do it because for some inexplicable, unexplained reason, various people, whether the humans or the Cyclos, can't breathe in
Various air.
places. And so they have like these
Sort
breathe
of like
right
a
nasal
swimming
strip.
nose
Yeah.
plug thing with these drip down
That
things.
causes you to be able to breathe. And it's just like, it is completely inexplicable. And so they, for some reason, they have to teach this man, Tyler, to read or to speak Cyclo.
Yeah, in
And
order so he can figure out how to mine, I guess.
I guess. And so they put him in this machine. What do they call
The
that?
language machine or the
lang-
knowledge machine. Yeah.
The language machine, and this hologram of this very like Eeyore kind
Yes.
of alien. I'm Bill, and if you're watching this, I am not good enough to be a Cyclo, but I'm going to be your instructor. And you're like,
He
if-
was like Eeyore.
yeah, it's like so ridiculous. And then he disappears. Is never mentioned again.
No.
And they just shoot like lasers into Tyler's eyes.
I can't believe his
until
name is
he-
Tyler. Is that
No.
really what his name was?
Well, you wouldn't have picked that up from the movie. And they shoot these lasers, and he learns their language, and he learns math and geometry.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
And so he's in this cage with the rest of the man animals, and he's like explaining isosceles triangles to them.
Yes.
And it's
Oh,
just like-
equal angles and equal sides.
Like, and they're like, we thought you were going to learn so we could escape. He's like, this is how we're going to escape. And I was like, so bad. It's so
Sometimes
bad.
they're like grunting like cavemen, like ooh, 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 like a monkey practically, and sometimes they're just talking in full, well-developed. Most of the time, they're talking in full, well-developed.
Yeah,
sentences.
and they're still using, like, they call Tyler Greener. Remember
Oh,
that?
yeah,
They call
'cause
his
yeah.
nickname is Greener, and they're like, well, what does that mean? It's like, I mean, so he thinks the grass is always greener on the other side.
Like, how do they know that in the year 3000 when they're all living in the rocks? But
Yeah.
they've held on to that, and they say some stuff is a piece of cake.
Everything's a
lot.
piece of cake. How do you know what cake is? You haven't seen cake or food for 1,000 years.
At one point, John Travolta, the big bad guy, wants to figure out how to motivate the man animals, so he he releases them from jail and follows them so that he can figure out what their favorite food is, so he can use it to motivate them to work for him. And they can't find any food because they're in like a cave. They finally find a rat. They haven't eaten anything for days, so they eat this rat. And he's like, aha, their favorite food is rats.
That's their
And that
favorite
becomes a
food.
recurring story thing.
And he constantly calls him rat brain.
Rat-
Brain. He talks like Skeletor or something. It's so bad. And so then, for some reason, they let him go to the public library in Denver
Yeah.
or something, and he reads the Declaration of Independence, and like somehow he learns where Fort Knox is.
Yes.
And Fort Hood. And so he's
Yeah.
like, now I know. And so he's like, they want us to mine for this gold, but we don't have time for that because we're training to defeat the Cyclos.
Right.
And so we'll just go to Fort Knox and take all these bars of gold and bring that back to them. and that, like,
They did teach him how to fly a spaceship, so he's able to fly there, but still. And then, then they want to attack the big pyramid place they live, or greenhouse or whatever. So they learn how to fly these fighter jets.
these cavemen. They go to Fort Hood in the year 3000, and there's a flight simulator.
Yeah,
and in
that's what it was.
1 week, they learn how to fly Harrier jump jets. And so all of a sudden, in the next scene, there's like a dozen fully operational, fueled up Harrier jump jets that these cavemen have learned how to excellently fly.
Yep.
And so good that they defeat the Cyclo spaceships. It is. It just makes it's ridiculous. And they spent a ton of money on this movie.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
I did. So there was the budget was claimed to be $75 million at first,
Oh my
but
gosh.
it turned out that somebody committed fraud or whatever with the budget and stole. They marked everything up and stole some of the money for themselves. So the correct budget was closer to $44 million, but they had to pay John Travolta and who's the other?
He's the I can't remember his name. Carry on.
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yes.
Yes.
So that was pretty big. I mean, and there was a lot of actors in it. There wasn't a lot of other big names in it. So anyway, they think that after they paid all the actors, there's only about $10 or $12 million left. And so the production quality, there's like these weird transitions that look like a PowerPoint slide
so bad.
between scenes. The soundtrack is really bad.
The soundtrack's bad. The sound design is bad.
There's a lot of things filmed at an angle.
Yeah.
Like just turned, and a lot of slow motion. Anytime something had to be destroyed or anytime somebody was running, there's a lot of slow motion running, a lot of slow motion breaking glass.
Yeah, the movie would have been 25% shorter had they not used so much slow-mo.
Yeah.
In 1977, our friend George Lucas made incredible laser blasts.
Yes, he did.
And
You're
in
right.
2000, with $75 million, they made the worst
Yes.
gun laser special effect.
Yes, it felt like
Do
something
you
we
remember
could
the
accomplish.
scene where, for some unknown reason, Terrell and in these cavemen people are out there, and he wants to prove what a good shot he is, and so he just shoots the leg off that cow.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, where'd the cows come? There's like a herd of cows
They
there.
should be eating those. For
And
goodness
it's like
sakes.
it just shoots them. It was so it was incredible. That movie was bad. It was very bad.
I found a review from the Washington Post. It said, 1 million monkeys with 1 million crayons would be hard-pressed in 1 million years to create anything as cretinous as Battlefield Earth.
Oh man.
So that got a 3% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and 11% audience score. So it is pretty much the quintessential bad movie.
Yeah, that was.
I think it met every single bad special effects, yes. Bad acting, yes. Bad dialogue, yes. Confusing plot, yes. Ridiculous storylines, yes. We were in the right mood. We had someone to share it with.
Yeah. Oh man, so good. That's one of them. That's one of the worst. So Amber, as we near the end of this discussion, let's talk about the movie that probably caused John to recommend this, the great series of movies called Sharknado.
Ooh, yeah. If anybody doesn't know, when this episode comes out, the last in the Sharknado, the last planned as of right now in the Sharknado franchise, will be coming out August 19th.
What number will this be?
6.
Sharknado 6. Yeah, and so we watched the first Sharknado, and so these movies are on Sci-Fi, and Sci-Fi does a lot of these kind of monster movies.
Just
They're
crazy.
B
They've got all
movies
sorts of crazy ones.
and giant spiders and giant all sorts of whatevers. And for some reason, I think maybe a Shark Week kind of a thing. We like sharks, and we heard about Sharknado, and so for some reason we decided to watch it.
Well, yeah, I did a little research to figure out why we did that. And so when it first aired, the first night, there was 1.4 million viewers. The average viewers for a new sci-fi film is 1.5 million, so it wasn't a rip-roaring success. But what happened is people went crazy on Twitter about Sharknado, and it might have been the first big... It was in 2013. Twitter had been around for a long time, but the first sci-fi movie that went really big on Twitter. I mean, all the sci-fi movies are ridiculous, and this one's ridiculous. I don't know what made it so much better, but this program had over 600,000 tweets the first time that it aired. It was double the highest tweets ever for a Game of Thrones episode, the Red Wedding episode. They only got 300,000. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Pretty Little Liars still beat how many tweets? As it should.
Yeah, for sure.
But 600,000 tweets. So then the second night that it aired is when we watched it. So I heard about it through social media, and I programmed the DVR to tape it if it would ever air again. I didn't know if it would. But it did air again. Just later on that same month, there was 1.89 million viewers, and then it aired a third time in the same month of July, and it had 2.1 million viewers, which set a record as the most watched original film in sci-fi history.
Wow.
So something about this just really took off, and then everybody wanted to know what it was. There's lots of celebrities tweeting about it, and people just loved it.
Yeah, and so the premise of it is that Finn Shepard, who is played by the great Ian Ziering from 90210, right?
Yeah, Steve Sanders.
And he owns like a bar on a beach in Florida or whatever. And there's a big tornado or a big storm coming in, but this tornado sucks up sharks.
Yeah.
And spreads them across the city.
It really does.
and so like bridges will flood out, and so there'll be sharks in that. And anywhere
in
there's any
streets,
amount
they're in
of water.
people's houses, bathtubs.
God, it is literally the most ridiculous thing that you've ever seen. And I think that, like, because I guess all these movies have ridiculous premises, but it feels like this one takes it up to the next level.
Yeah.
Like, you have to literally set every ounce of rational thought aside and just ingest this movie.
Yep. I remember at the beginning, okay, it's pretty terrible dialogue. It's pretty terrible premise. So there's a storm coming. I guess that's the Sharknado, obviously, but the skies, like the production quality was so low that there'd be like somebody on a surfboard or whatever, just like sitting on a surfboard in really calm water with like sunny skies. And then it would switch to somebody's point of view from the beach, and they're seeing like this crazy dark sky with big waves. And then it would switch back to the surfer who's supposed to be on the same beach, about to be attacked by a shark, and he's in sunny skies with no waves. And it's just crazy. There's another scene with the water by the bridge, I think, where cars are driving through it. Like, it's deep and it's scary because there's a shark right next to your window. And then they switch to another scene, and there's like deep sea divers underneath like a school bus on the same road, and it's just like 50 feet deep. It's really deep.
I love
that's
that.
Not even possible.
School bus scene is maybe my favorite of the original Sharknado. So we just adored this movie. We had so much fun. And so I believe it was the next year, Sharknado 2 is coming out, and we invite all of our family over.
Yes, John was here to visit from New York.
That's right.
He didn't live here at the time.
And we're like, we're going to have a Sharknado party. And so I'm at work, and they're like, oh, we're going to get some stuff. We're going to get ready for this Sharknado. All the family's coming over, Ben and Angel and all the kids and everybody. And I'm like, all right. And so I get home from work, and there is a watermelon cut in the shape of a shark head, like,
Yes.
and there's a literal Sharknado hanging from
I'll
the
have to find some pictures and post them on our episode.
yeah the chandelier. Like it's like whoa.
We had lots of shark-themed food and drinks, and
Yeah.
it was super fun.
And we've watched every Sharknado since then.
Yeah, so Sharknado 2 was called Sharknado 2, the second one. And that one was in New York City instead of, I think the first one was California. Yeah, Los Angeles was the first one. Sharknado 3, oh, hell no. A monstrous tornado unleashes ravenous sharks from Washington, D.C. down to Orlando. So that one had a lot of famous, they're at the White House, they're in the Pentagon, they're in the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Memorial, and at Disney World.
Yeah,
Both of those big places there. Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens.
Oh, that
Which
was
is
a
little
good
Star
one.
Wars thing.
That's the one where they went to space, right?
I guess so.
thought that-
Finn and his family have been blissfully Sharknado free in 5 years since the most recent attack, but now sharks and tornadoes are being whipped up in unexpected places and ways.
Yeah,
Last-
so at the end of that one, I think they went to space,
Okay,
and
at the
Tara
end of that
Reid,
one.
who plays April Shepard,
Yeah.
gets eaten by a shark, and you could vote. Does she
Yes.
like make it back or
Yes.
something? And you don't know until
Because people could get eaten by a shark
Sharknado
and
5.
make it back.
Oh.
Let me tell you.
So, and the very first one, Finn has a chainsaw.
Yes.
And he gets eaten by a shark. And spoiler alert, he like chainsaws his way out of the shark. It's pretty
A little
gross.
gory,
A little
yeah.
gross.
The last one last year was Sharknado 5 Global Swarming. Shark-infested storms grow stronger and more complex. The world braces for the inevitable, a global Sharknado. This year, the mission gets personal for chainsaw-wielding leader Finn Shepard and his bionic wife, April. So she survived, but she's mostly
That's right.
bionic now.
So
Very-
Amber, who Hasselhoff
Yes,
played
this is
Finn's
Dad.
dad.
And it
Oh,
had another,
so good.
like a fish name, Gil or something.
Gil Shepard.
So
or
anyway, the
something like
sun
that,
gets
yeah.
trapped in the Sharknado and is transported all over the world in the
Oh.
last one. So you get to see the Eiffel Tower and the pyramids
that's
and
right.
that kind of thing. This next one, it's called The Last Sharknado. It's about time traveling.
Oh man.
I've been told we're going to see dinosaurs. We're going to see Noah's Ark. We're going to see the pyramids.
Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
So am I going to be in Mexico when this airs?
You are. So I will wait to watch it with you.
We have never deleted a Sharknado off of our DVR. We have every
You
single
just never
one.
know
You
when
never
you're
know
gonna
when you're
wanna
going to
watch
have
it.
to watch one of the
I
Sharknados.
think what I save them for, because I don't know that they're rewatch. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's funny. What I want to do is watch it with somebody who's never watched it before. I
so
want
you're
somebody,
waiting.
Yes. I want to hold on to them just in
We
case.
could have some sort of a contest. If you've never watched Sharknado
Yeah.
before, you could enter the contest and win and watch Sharknado with Mark and Amber.
Ooh.
That'd be exciting.
I like it.
So yeah, so we're very excited, and we decided to do this episode about movies so bad they're good before, so that we could say, hey, friends that not
Might
are
like-
going to watch
Yeah.
with your kids,
Yeah.
watch
it's not
this. You're gonna. This is it.
Yeah.
This is a thing.
Yeah,
This is kind of,
teenagers and up could probably handle it, but you
Yeah.
don't want to watch it with your little kids.
yeah. This is the kind of thing that Mark and Amber spend their time on.
Uh-oh. We know it's ridiculous.
Yes.
We're not trying to say it's a good
No.
good movie by any chance.
So it's gonna be it's great. So I'm very excited about that. I'm sure that we will follow up in the next episode or whatever. I'm not sure how that's gonna work in our review of Sharknado 6.
Oh,
It's about
absolutely.
time.
We will give you a good review. We'll want to know if you guys have seen it. We're also going to want to know what other movies are so bad they're good. I came across another one I want to check out just based on all the lists. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can find lots and lots of articles about movies that are so bad they're good. The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah, man. We could do a whole episode about Nicolas Cage movies.
I think a lot of them might qualify.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard of that one. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
So
we'll have to see.
yeah, so let us know, friends, what your favorite bad movies are. We would love to get your input there.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We had so much fun. We do want to hear from you. The way you can get a hold of us is to find us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at SegmentsCast, or you can email us, segmentscast@gmail.com. You can also find us on our episode page. That is segments.libsyn.com.
Yeah, and look us up and subscribe on your podcast player of choice. Of course, I use Pocket Casts. I did hear that Android has a new podcast player that is native on
Man, it
on
should.
company-
It's
I know,
crazy
on
that it doesn't.
Android phone. So I think there's a Google Play, but there's also Google Podcasts, or there's Google Music and Google Podcasts. But so maybe you could look us up there. There's a bunch of great podcast players. If you're still on iOS, you can use. It's not iTunes. You don't get it from iTunes anymore.
You've got a
Apple
podcast.
Podcasts
Yeah, Apple
or whatever
Podcasts
they
right
call
on
it.
your phone. Yep.
Yeah, so if you subscribe, that helps us. You get the benefit of having that automatically downloaded.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. You wake up in the morning, usually 6 a.m. on the 15th or the 30th. That episode's there waiting for you. So you're on your way to work. I don't know. You are doing some laundry. Like Laura, she rides her bike and listens to it.
She said she was laughing out loud. Her neighbors probably wondered what she was laughing at.
Absolutely.
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Our friend Amy listens while she bakes, which
Yeah.
is also her hobby/career.
Yeah, our friends Aaron and Bobby Joe, they sit around old-timey style and listen to it with their family.
So sweet.
It's
Yeah.
very sweet. Or if you want to do some like fan art, go for it.
Oh
We
my
would love
gosh, that would be so fun.
Emma does fan art for podcasts she likes all the
Yeah.
time. So do some fan art.
Oh.
Throw that up on the old Facebook
I
page.
would love it.
And subscribe. We would love that. If there's something about this show that you like and you think there's somebody else that you know that would like it, we would love it if you shared it with them. We obviously have zero marketing budget, but we would love to grow the show a little bit. So if you could share a show with them, that would be fantastic.
We
We would
went.
like to.
You did that one on purpose.
Sorry, go ahead.
We
Emma,
went.
for the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So funny.
We would like to thank Emma for the logo and graphics. If you want her to draw you a little something, she is taking commissions at of Hauntings on Twitter.
And we want to thank our nephew Gabriel is EDM Samurai for the intro and outro music. You can find him on SoundCloud at EDM Samurai.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a great day or evening or morning and that you find a great movie. It's so bad it's good.
So we just told you some ideas you can give us.
So good.